Well, welcome everybody to this special Halloween edition episode of the Watchmen podcast. I'm Zach Upchurch. I don't know why it took me so long to think of my own name. I'm your host, Zach Upchurch, joined by, as always, by Garrett Chambers and Ben Todd Hunter.
Howdy.
Ben has his mouth full. He's doing a creepy little wave thing. We also have Jordan Hagelin here. So today we're going to talk about, as we're recording on Halloween here, we're going to talk about Halloween and our perspective on it as Christians. So we're going to start with a brief little history of Halloween. Gur, do you want to tell us about the history of Halloween and where Halloween came from?
I can do that. So it was about 2,000 years ago in Ireland and the UK and northern France, and there was a festival called Samhain. It looks like it's spelled, or it looks like it said Samhain, but it's Samhain.
That's how bad English is.
It marked the end of harvest and the start of winter, a time associated with death and the spirit world. The Celts believed that on October 31st, the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. The spirits could roam the earth. To ward off these spirits, people lit bonfires and wore animal skin costumes or masks to disguise themselves from the ghosts. Then, in the 8th century, Pope Gregory III moved All Saints' Day to November 1st, and the night before became All Hallows' Eve, eventually shortened to Halloween. The church hoped to Christianize pagan traditions like Samhain by merging them with holy observances, and then later, All Souls' Day, November 2nd, honored the dead more broadly, blending the Christian and folk customs. Then, in medieval Europe, people practicing souling, going door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for food or soul cakes, quote unquote, or dressing up and performing tricks or songs for retreats, developed in Scotland and Ireland.
I'm sorry. How the heck are we making soul cake?
I don't know what a soul cake is, but I don't think I want one.
It's tofu.
Let me look it up.
Does it take your soul or give you more soul? If it's tofu, I think it takes your
Soul cakes
Yeah,
are
it's not like you
spiced
put your
biscuit
soul into
baked.
it, because it would be better if that.
It would, it would at least have some color, flavor, and or texture.
Wait, isn't tofu something different
You
though?
know what a color is?
Because this says soul cakes are spiced
tofu.
biscuit-shaped
Whoa.
cookies baked with a cross marked on top, traditionally in exchange for prayers for the dead during the medieval practice of souling.
I don't.
Yes. I made up that bit about tofu.
Oh, okay. I would have believed you. Like, oh, soul cakes, tofu, same difference.
No, tofu is that little like wet loaf that you get wrapped in the plastic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have to eat it cold or warm.
Yeah,
Either way,
I
it's
hate tofu.
It has no flavor on purpose.
I don't understand
And
people who
then
eat it.
The
Anyway.
vegans are like, no, it's like it tastes like steak. I'm like, what kind of steak you eat?
If you cook it in steak sauce,
I know, yeah.
and then put a steak on
sauce
top,
next
and then
to a
remove the
steak.
tofu.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically little cookies that actually look really good. Like, I could go for some chocolate chip cookies right now. You should try and make those, Jordan.
I've baked so many things this week I can't afford to. Spent $100 on cheesecake stuff.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, go ahead, Gar.
Beyond the soul cakes and praying for the dead, they would dress up and perform tricks or songs for treats, developed in Scotland and Ireland. These customs eventually merged into what we recognize as trick-or-treating. Halloween arrived in North America with Irish and Scottish immigrants in the 1800s, especially after the Irish potato famine in the 1840s. It began as a community event with parties, fortune-telling, and autumn games like bobbing for apples. In the early 20th century, the holiday shifted more towards children and families, shedding much of its ghostly or supernatural tone. Yeah, that's a
Debatable,
relative, very
but
relative.
Okay.
Trick-or-treating became widespread by the 1930s to the 1950s, encouraged by civic groups as a safe community activity. Also
Again, debatable.
Very. The rise of mass-produced costumes and candy companies turned it into a commercial powerhouse. Today, Halloween is celebrated with costumes or jack-o'-lanterns and horror films, and billions of dollars in annual spending.
I love how they just casually throw horror films out there. Costume.
At its core, Samhain was a liminal festival, a night when the Celts believed the barrier between worlds weakened. Spirits of ancestors were thought to return to visit their families, while malevolent entities could also slip through. People lit bonfires, seen as purifying, and wore disguises to confuse or repel the wandering spirits. Some early Christian chroniclers later reinterpreted these spirits as demons, a reinterpretation, not an original Celtic idea.
Or just like the reality that they actually were.
Yeah,
demons,
that's
but
yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
okay.
The the Celts themselves did not have a concept of hell or demons in the Christian sense. Their spirit world was more neutral. Both helpful and harmful beings existed. That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
When the church began Christianizing Europe, it rebranded pagan customs as demonic or devilish. Bonfire masks, sacrifices, or offering to spirits, all common Celtic Samhain, became associated with the occult in church writings.
So hear me out here. Maybe the whole Samhain thing was just a cult ritual.
Whoa.
Mic drop. Boom.
As a result, later medieval Europeans saw any spirit night like Halloween or Walpurgis Night as dangerous or spiritually risky.
You don't say.
Yeah, this perception persisted. Even today, some Christian groups view Halloween as a night that glorifies evil or opens spiritual quote-unquote doors.
Wonder why.
Yeah, those crazy Christians. What? Divination rituals were once a major Halloween tradition. Apple peels, mirrors, or candle flames were used to predict the future, especially in love.
I wish that part was like actually legit though.
Folk magic was seen as harmless in rural communities, but as sorcery by religious authorities.
Like it should be.
Oh. As occultism and witchcraft lore evolved, especially in the 16th to 18th centuries, Halloween's reputation as a night of witches and devils deepened. Later folklore tied this to witches, Sabbaths, black cats, and spells, merging Christian demonology with older seasons. In the 20th century, with the rise of horror fiction and later satanic panic, Halloween was often framed as a night of evil forces. Movies and media amplified this. Witches, demons, possession, sacrifice, as entertainment, not theology, but it cemented a darker aesthetic. Some spiritual traditions, especially evangelical Christianity, still interpret the night as symbolically aligned with the demonic. Since it historically involved spirit contact and masquerade. Yeah. From a symbolic or mystical perspective, Halloween represents a journey through shadow, acknowledging death, darkness, and fear. Many pagan or neo-pagan practitioners see it as a Samhain revived, honoring ancestors in the cycle of death and rebirth. Not demonic, but deeply spiritual.
Or just demonic.
Yeah, just demonic, actually. Jungian interpretations even see Halloween as society's war of externalizing the shadow, confronting inner fears through ritual and play.
So that's a brief history of Halloween. Just like from a factual perspective, like its origins we see with the Samhain tradition in Ireland, and then it kind of morphs in the 8th century. The Pope tries to quote-unquote Christianize it with All Saints' Day and All Hallows' Eve, which eventually got shortened to Halloween. Also modern or medieval traditions like souling, going to door to door, asking for cakes in exchange for. Then it comes to North America, trick-or-treating, all the modern stuff.
We should do that this year. When the kids come to the door and they're like, trick or treat, you're like, you get a prayer, kid.
It goes the other way. We give them cookies. Anyway, so what do you guys think about the origins of how? Because we kind of have to start at the beginning, right? We have to start with the origins in order to get to like the rest of it. So,
well, it straight up starts in the Celtic countries. Very notoriously known, although people kind of gloss over that nowadays. But like they had a lot of demonic stuff, like druids and human sacrifices, super common for the Celts. People gloss over that nowadays. Seriously, do history, research. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So, it's demonic. Straight, complete, 100%.
We can end the show there,
Yep,
right?
all
Pretty
right.
much.
I'm kidding. Okay, so definitely the origins. Obviously, we see the origins are kind of a mixture of the demonic. Like the whole Samhain thing is just straight up demonic. Talking about warding off spirits and wearing costumes. The boundary between the living and the dead blurred.
The spiritual realm is actually kind of neutral.
Yeah, no, we need to know there's nothing neutral in the spiritual realm. Like there's either positive or negative. And yeah, like the Bible says, if you're not for God, you're against God. So neutral is not a thing. And then, so obviously the whole Samhain thing is demonic. In the Pope, do without your will, tries to Christianize or Catholicize the day and make it Halloween with All Hallows Eve honoring the saints. And then later it got moved to All Souls Day, which generalizes it, makes it more generic, even farther. So it's not, at that point, it's really not a Christian holiday anymore. It's this sort of pagan, not so much, no, not necessarily pagan, but just not Christian. And like we see, if it's not Christian, then it is pagan. So, and then obviously we see the beginnings of trick-or-treating with the Solon, which I've heard several things. I've heard that. I've also heard people like pound on people's door with like vegetables and stuff until they gave them candy to leave. Although that may or may not have been in like one of those Charlie Brown encyclopedias from decades ago. So
I read those books.
I know, dude. My dad has those or had those when he was a kid. Anyway,
Do you know how uncomfortable that would be? Just getting your door eaten by cucumbers.
That's why you
that's
carry.
why they gave them the candy.
Well, that's why you have a Glocky Glock.
Oh! Pick off those little demon workers one by one.
Your fridge is just all out of stock. You have a bunch of family and they're like, wow, look at all the pretty vegetables. Why are they all bruised? And they're like, oh yeah, I just like
take them off the dead bodies of children. No, that's the American thing. The Europeans wouldn't do the Glock part.
That's true.
And then in modernity, it becomes like this holiday of trick-or-treating in the 30s and 50s, better days back then, where it was just encouraged as like a community activity. You would dress up in costumes, and it was great. The candy companies, the costume companies loved it because it was a great... The dentists loved it because it was a great money earner, so it kind of became commercialized. And then, obviously, then we get into darker things such as horror films, and then we still have it connected to, like, the ancient Celtic spirituality, which is a little bit, not as good.
Okay, in all fairness, though, technically there's nothing, like, at face value of just watching a movie, horror movies, technically, like, there's nothing technically wrong with them. Like,
Yeah, but at the same time, why? Like, why would you watch that?
Because a lot of the time it's just the fascination of the supernatural and the occult
Yeah.
that draws
Yeah.
people to them. Now, admittedly, I've watched like the Conjuring movies and the Annabelle movies. Those are great. I hate the Annabelle movies, but they're really well made. But I hate them with a passion.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Conjuring ones are really good.
the Conjuring ones are good. The first one is, like, one of the best of all time.
Catholics are kind of crazy and probably made most of it up.
They are-
But
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, The Exorcist.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess you could say, like, the fascination with, like, the occult and death and is bad, but at the same time, as long as you're not partaking.
Or idolizing it.
Yeah, or idolizing it. If it's
Anyway, so we see, like, it begins demonic. It kind of turns Christian, kind of like well-wishing 50s, like, community, which is a lot of the 50s. And then as America has turned back towards paganism on the whole, it's kind of turned back a little bit dark.
Just universally, it's a much darker thing than it was even not that long ago.
Well, and like we see that a lot, especially in the time period of like the 30s to the 50s, kind of like the golden era of America, as it's been called. And everything has gotten more liberal and more. We've gone away from God as a country. We haven't gone towards God as a country since then. And I think obviously our holidays, Christmas, Easter, Halloween have gone that way too. So I think what started out as just an innocent, more or less, candy grab for the kids. Kids loved it, I'm sure. I think is probably now more connected with people glorying in death and destruction and its innate connection to the demonic. Yeah, you guys have...
a lot of people also use it just like as an excuse for all sorts of debauchery.
Oh, yeah.
And just look at the average adult Halloween costume nowadays. Don't do that. But that's a perfect example.
I mean,
I don't
can't
know.
say that.
Okay.
Never mind. I was gonna say something, but we cannot have that.
A lot of alcohol, a lot of
Yeah.
yeah. Two wrongs do not make a less wrong.
But
it just gets
3
worse.
do.
No.
The ends justify the means.
I mean,
Isn't that what Hitler said?
oh
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, and yeah, like I do agree with Jordan. People have used it as an excuse to do whatever they want, and we see that with what's that Catholic holiday? The Lent or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's this one holiday where like they basically go out and party because they can't party for the next like 4 weeks or whatever, and so the Catholics use it as their excuse to go out and do whatever the heck they want.
The
And I
Muslims
think-
do it too.
Yeah,
imagine needing a holiday to do that.
and I think that's kind of what it's come to as Americans, is that like you said, Halloween is become less moral and less good.
The origins don't necessarily make it evil in and of itself if we have moved away from it.
Yeah.
But then we haven't fully moved away from it, and we're only going more towards it. So it, in a way, it's different, but it's similar. Just badness to it.
Well, and I think as Christians, the way we should think about it is not necessarily being like, oh, we can't have any part of it because everything is demonic. Like, there's nothing wrong with dressing up as in costumes and asking people for candy. But I think
based on the context.
but you have to be based on the context. Like, obviously, they have to be innocent costumes, which a lot of Halloween costumes are not.
And if
It-
it's July, please don't do that. Nobody likes
It would be a
those.
little weird.
I do not have candy for you, especially in July.
Yeah, but I think, especially my biggest problem with Halloween anyway.
I don't know. Halloween is like legit my favorite holiday. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. Because it's the only holiday that was not like super Christian to begin with, and that you get to like not do anything. Because and that and New Year's actually, because all the other holidays there's like a lot of prep that goes into them. There's a lot of like stress and family stuff. You gotta plan, and you gotta make plans, and you gotta buy stuff, and you gotta do that stuff. And then New Year's and Halloween they didn't really start out Christian. So because of that, you can't make them unchristian because they weren't Christian to begin with. Where like Christmas, you also have to deal with like it originated as like a very Christian holiday. Over the years, of course, like our society has turned it into just getting candy and watching Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying that, watching Christmas movies and getting presents is bad, but it's sad that it took Christ out of...
Yeah, it's very consumer oriented.
Yeah, it's a very consumer oriented... Yeah, exactly. It's a very consumer oriented holiday now, which is sad, where Halloween was never Christian to begin with, so you can't make it unchristian.
Yeah.
Same with New Year's. So no matter how much it gets about just the stuff that you get, it was always about that, so it doesn't really matter. And then also Halloween, you don't have to plan stuff.
I mean, I do partly agree with that. Like, it's easier just to have a fun holiday. I think we have to be careful, and I think as Christians especially we have to be careful because it does have like demonic origins. That we are not celebrating the demonic parts, which is kind of where it comes down to like a personal conviction on whether or not you should celebrate Halloween or not. And I've read things both ways, like, oh, we shouldn't have any part to do with it, or oh, we should use it to witness to people, that kind of thing. Both sides have good arguments, definitely. And I agree that obviously we shouldn't take part in the demonic aspect. But then again, if it is just like an innocent way for your kids to dress up and have fun and get candy, there's nothing in and of itself that's wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I think the taking joy in death and destruction and the spiritual, and like a lot of Halloween stuff just gets weird.
Yeah.
Like with horror movies, not necessarily that, but like
Some of them.
some of them for sure, and other like just like some of the decorations are just like, bro, why?
Yeah. It's
Literally like you're putting up statues of demons. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not even close.
at skin level it's a little weird, but you just go one layer deeper and it's really, really
And it's
bad.
really bad. Yeah. And that's where like we have talked about before, like with slippery slope, it's best to stay away from them.
Unless it's a slip and slide.
Unless it's a
No,
slip and
you do not
slide.
have to stay away from those.
Sure.
Those are amazing.
Run wild, my child.
Unless you're a chubby kid and then you just get scratches over it.
But I think we should definitely be careful how we're associating with Halloween.
There's nothing to say you can't hang out with friends and enjoy candy or costumes or whatever on Halloween. There's
Or even watch The Conjuring.
yeah.
Just don't like get possessed.
Yeah.
Preferably.
Halloween has a lot of opening doors. Be careful what you let into your home. Be careful what you let into your heart and your
It's
mind.
like a theme tune.
Yeah. Be careful. Be careful with what you're celebrating. Make sure that it is just costumes and candy. It's not celebrating death and demons. Celebrating the demonic
Be
occult
wise.
roots. Yeah, be wise. Use judgment. And obviously, like, if you are convicted one way or the other, then go with your conviction. Don't go against your conscience. Because that can end up being actually a bigger sin than celebrating Halloween or not celebrating Halloween.
Yeah, I don't think there is a right answer necessarily.
Yeah, I think it differs
Yeah.
from person to person, and I think whatever you personally decide on the issue, we're not going to force a view upon you. Whatever you decide on the issue is what you need to do. So if you enjoy celebrating Halloween and you do it without celebrating, death and whatnot, you just like seeing costumes and handing out candy, like that's awesome. But don't be the guy with like the 9-foot demon statue in your yard, because that's just weird.
And doing seances and Ouija
Yeah, and
boards.
getting seances and all that kind of mystic, esoterical stuff that's just not helpful. And especially we see like the Bible saying whatever is like holy and pure to set your mind on that. If it's not holy and pure, then it's probably not good to be setting your mind. I mean, that's what Jesus said, not me. So if you don't listen, that's up to you. But yeah, I think that's pretty much a wrap, guys.
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right. Peace out. Don't celebrate demons. And enjoy Halloween. Or your
don't.
candy. Or don't. That's
Yeah.
cool too. Either way. I'm going to be driving all night. I'm not going to be trick-or-treating. So, peace.